This is a Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Rivers State House of Assembly at its 41st legislative sitting of the second session frowned at the purported appointment of some individuals as chairmen and members of the Rivers State Investment Promotion Agency by the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, describing it as illegal and a huge disappointment. The House expressed its displeasure when the chairman of the House Committee on Commerce and Industry, Honorable Garat Ofuaji, presented a report on a purported inauguration of the board of the Rivers State Investment Promotion Agency by Governor Fubara. A statement signed by the Special Assistant on Media to the Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins Wachuku, said in a report that the committee stated that such an agency, if properly established, would create a conducive climate to attract and grow businesses in a state, but regretted the absence of any law known to the Rivers State House of Assembly establishing such an agency, adding that if such law exists, the individuals so nominated would have been subjected to the confirmation of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The statement said, while relying on the findings of the committee, honorable members committed to the report pointed out that the governor, in exercise of his power, has regulated decency in governance to the background. Speaking on the purported appointment and inauguration of the board of the agency by the governor, the Speaker, Right Honorable Martins Chike Ameule, said the action of the governor is appointing some individuals to an agency not known to any legislation in the state is condemnable, and wondered why Governor Fubara would continue to deliberately act in defiance of extant law and the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered, knowing that such acts constitute misconduct. Right Honorable Meuhile also recalled a similar action taken by Governor Fubara when he professed to the appointed some persons into the board of the bureaus for public procurement and other appointments without regards to the provision of extant law guiding such appointments, while the House unanimously votes in the affirmatives and condemned in strong terms the action of the governor, which is declared illegal and questionable. Rivers State Police Commissioner CP Olutunji Delsus has paraded one Fred Monday, a suspected cultist who has been impersonating as inspector in Nigerian police. CP Delsus said on August 9, 2024 at about 11:45 p.m. operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit of the Rivers State Police Command responded to an intelligence report of the criminal operation in Luogbo community in Kana local government area. He explained that on arrival at the scene, the police met with an ongoing gruesome cult initiative process. 5 suspects, later found to be students of the Kensaro Wiwa Polytechnic, were arrested to being members of the Vikings confraternity, and they have been charged to court and are presently in a custodial correctional center. CP Delsu said Fred Monday is a confessed member of the Iceland cult group and has been carrying out numerous crimes using the cover of being a policeman to terrorize his victims. The Rivers State Chief said Monday is also an armed robber who operates as a keke rider during the day, scamming the area of possible victims to attack under the cover of the night, adding that investigation is still on as the police is getting closer to round up other members of his gang. The lease exhibit recovered from the suspects are 1 AK-47 rifle, 10 magazines, and 29 rounds of live ammunition. Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has inaugurated a board of neutrals, the first of its kind for the upstream alternative, despite Resolution Center in Yenogua, the Bayelsa State capital. Inaugurating the body, NURPRC Chief Executive Benga Komolafe said it in a comment. In the commencement of the transformative chapter in the realm of dispute resolutions for the center, which embodies the core values of impartiality, expertise. professionalism and dedication, Governor of Bayelsa State, Doye Diri, thanked the Commission for relocating the center to the state, saying it will serve as the locals an expense of traveling to Lagos and Abuja to seek the resolution of disputes with oil companies through legislation, while Komolafe explained that the reason for the resorting to ADR is to avoid the delay, high costs and adversary postures that can exacerbate conflicts and strain relationships, as witnessed in numerous protected legal battles between oil companies and their host communities. Ahead of the September 21, 2024 governorship election in Edo State, the Independent National Electoral Commission has recovered 3,817 bimodal voters accreditation system from fraud. This is coming after voters' enrollment machine vehicles, among others, were destroyed at the Edo State headquarters of the Commission in Benin City as a result of heavy downpour on Friday, May 24, 2024. The downpour, which submerged the premises of the Commission, damaged voters' enrollment machine already configured for the continuous voters registration, movable and immovable items, including as well as office furniture and equipment. The resident electoral commissioner in the state, Dr. Anubum Onoa, who disclosed this during the commission's stakeholders meeting on the state government governorship election in Benin City. Meanwhile, chairman of INEC, Professor Mohamed Yokubo, said a total of 2 million eligible voters registered to vote during the election, and the commission would in the next few days establish a detailed breakdown of PVCs collected for each of the 4,519 polling units across the state. In a surprising turn of events, the All Progressives Congress has rejected the decision to sign the peace accord just 2 hours before the scheduled signing ceremony. This move is coming ahead of the September 21 governorship election, where the peace accord was intended to promote a peaceful and harmonious electoral process among intended political parties. While Obsiki had earlier declared that his party's People's Democratic Party may not sign the peace accord because the party has lost faith in the police and the Independent National Electoral Commission. Addressing the press conference at the party secretariat, Emperor Jared Tenebe said the party declined to sign the accord because 2 months after the police inspector Ona, who was the orderly to the candidate of the party, Senator Monday Apoholo, was shot and killed along Airport Road, nobody has been arrested and persecuted. He said Governor Godwin Obaseki is allegedly keeping them in a government house and claimed that the governor has made inflammatory statements that have undermined his position as a chief secretary officer of the state. He chronicled the various attacks the APC campaign team has suffered in different communities at Akoko Edo, Esco Central and Asan West local government area, while mobilizing supporters for the election, and mentioned several other chieftains of the PDP publicly boasted that they would do anything and get away with it, and that the party's position to the police about the incident with the name of the suspect attached have not been treated. Ongoing strike by the non-academic Technique Court Asura took another dimension on Thursday as the members barricaded all the gates leading into the institution to press home their demands for 65 years retirement age. Eyewitnesses, students and lecturers rushing for early morning lectures were denying access to the campus as all the gates were barricaded by the aggrieved union members. The workers in Ibana as the gate called on the state government to please come and salvage the situation by directing the implementation of 65 years retirement age, and it took to the dimension of the chief security officer of the Polytechnic to bring the situation under control as he ordered the gate to be thrown open. However, all the issues for by the union are yet to be resolved as the strike entered the second week. But the lecturers who spoke on condition of anonymity said the strike is a case of jealousy against the academic staff who are granted 65 years as retirement age. He also said the non-academic staff has gone bringing other workers and students from having access to their institution. Lagos State resident Yakubu Nadi, his wife and Lady Yakubu, and their little son have been declared missing. This is coming after Yakubu and his family had on August 10 departed Lagos State via a private vehicle but failed to arrive at their destination. Aunt elder sister Blessing Alechunu said she last heard from the couples at about 2 p.m. when they were still around Onitsha, Anambra State. She said her family became worried after it was discovered that Yakubu and his family failed to land at their destination in Calabar after they left Lagos State, adding that since August 10 till date, all efforts to reach the family have proven abortive, stating that their phone numbers have remained switched off. She, however, said the matter has been reported to the Lagos State Police Command. Ogun State Police Command says it has arrested 3 suspects for allegedly destroying farmland belonging to one Dada Tope in Ado-Adoe local government area of the state. The suspects are Amosu Yopol, Victor Samuel, and Remy. Spokesperson of the commands, Omolola Odutola, said the Tokpe 38 reported that on visiting his farmland at Okoje Onilogbo, he discovered that suspect has uprooted and damaged his palm trees, adding that based on the alert operatives of the command station where the suspects were apprehended. She commended the swift response of the officer, saying there have been occurrences in the past where similar situation has resulted in multiple deaths with the bodies of the victims left in the farmlands, and advised the public to adopt a diplomatic stance in notifying the police of any farmland as any other suspicious activities rather than taking laws into their own hands. Nigerian Air Force says the A component of Operation WHIRL Punch conducted a highly successful air interdiction missions on 11 September 2024 in Basa, Niger State. It said in the process, the Nigerian Air Force Air Assets observed over 100 terrorists engaging friendly force in a fierce firefight, and the NAFA strike killed dozens of the bandits. Kabiru Ali, Group Captain, Deputy Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigeria Air Force, 28 bodies has been recovered from the target area, with several more terrorist weapons and burnt motorcycles still being cleared. According to the statement, the successful operation underscored the Nigerian Air Force commitment to protecting the nation and supporting sister services and other security, banditry, terrorism, insurgency, and all other forms of criminality. NFF sought for members of the public continue supporting vital information that will lead to the dismounting bandits and other criminal elements. 38-year-old man Gabriel Leah Magaji from in Karu local government area of Nasarawa State has taken his own life after discovering that his wife had allegedly been sleeping with his friends in exchange for money. Magaji's body was discovered hanging in a classroom at Crystal School, Masaka, on Monday morning. The Nasarawa State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Nasel Ramhan, who confirmed the incident in a statement, said a report was lodged by the staff member of Crystal School, Masaka, stating that Nasel stated that while no suicide note was found on the deceased, investigation have begun to determine the cause of the tragic. Why a source familiar with the situation alleged that Magaji took his life after confronting his wife about infidelity. Armed bandits have blocked the Gusho-Funtu highway in Zamfara State, kidnapping an unspecified number of travelers in the early Monday attack on Thursday. Eyewitness reported that the bandits riding on about 50 motorcycles with 3 people mounted a roadblock around the Tazame axis of the highway around 7 a.m., adopting commuters and taking them into the bush. Another commuter has confirmed that bandits had also blocked the Magazu-Kurazi road, which linked Gwasu to Fontu. The Zamfara State Police Command spokesperson ASP Yazid Abubakar, who confirmed the incident, said additional police mobile units have been deployed to the area to assist the military in clearing the road and restoring order. Police in Adamawa State has arrested 5 young men over alleged theft of copper cables and other cylinders. And gas cylinders rather. The State Police Public Relations Officer Suleiman Nguroje, who confirmed the developments on Thursday, said the arrest resulted from efforts to check crimes in and around the state and were identified as residents of Malame and Wauru Jobe in Yola North Local Government area, while Abdullani Mohammed alleged broke into a house around their communities and stole a gas cylinder. Ibrahim Hamid is charged with the cutting copper cables from the filling station and confessing that they usually burn the cables and sell the wire to scavengers. The trio of Mabaraka Abubakar, Hamadu Ibrahim and Isaac Noah allegedly invaded the filling station, broke into a buildings at the station through the ceiling and stole copper cables with intention of selling to scavengers. This is coming after Governor Hamadu Fintiri had last month placed a ban on scavenging, promoting the state's police command to declare that it would be all out to fight scavengers. 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has called on the federal government to swiftly support the victims of Borno fraud victims to alleviate their sufferings. In a post via X handle, Obi expressed sadness over the loss of lives and disruption of activities in Maiduguri due to flood and emphasized the need to unite and rebuild the communities and have been damaged. Imagining the pains they are going through, Obi urged the victims to be strong and resilient to get through the difficult time, asking individuals to support them. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, have met with the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, at the Presidential Villa Abuja, where they discussed extensively on the flooding incident in Maiduguri, Borno State. The meeting, which was also to commiserate with the VP who hailed from Borno State, afforded them as opportunity to brainstorm on immediate intervention measures to adopt. This comes after President Bola Tinubu, upon being briefed of the situation in Maiduguri, ordered the deployment of the National Emergency Management Agency to assist the flood victims. The President has given the directive through the statement by a special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onuoga, on Tuesday, where he described the flood as the worst in the recent decades. The flood was reported to have displaced thousands of residents in affected facilities such as the post office and the Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Independent Broadcasting Association of Nigeria has expressed its deepest condolence and solidarity with the government and people of Maiduguri and the entire northeast region of Nigeria as they grapes with the devastating flood that has created a humanitarian disaster that has severely impacted lives and communities. A statement signed by the Independent Broadcasting Association of Nigerian Chairman Alhaji Ahmed Ramalan and Director of Publicity George Olutayo said the disaster has brought immense suffering to many families, displacing thousands and creating significant challenges in terms of food, shelter, and medical assistance, and acknowledged the heroic efforts of the government and the agencies and the people on the ground who are working tirelessly to alleviate the situation. IBAM said, as broadcasters, they stand committed to ensuring that the plight of those affected remains in the public consciousness, adding that the role of media is vital in amplifying the voices of the vulnerables and ensuring that the necessary resources and assistance reach those in need, and urge all broadcasters in Nigeria to continue highlighting the scale of this tragedy and mobilizing public and private supporters. The group called upon the international community humanitarians, organizations, donors agencies and all well-meaning individuals across the globe to extend their support to Nigeria in addressing this pressing crisis, adding that the scale of this disaster require a global response and many forms of assistance, including financial, material or technical expertise that will go a long way in bringing relief to the affected populations. You are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today.
Welcome back. This is The Transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. House of Representatives has swept its resumption date by 1 week. Members of the lower parliament were scheduled to return from their annual vacations on Tuesday, September 17, but their resumption of plenary has now been moved to Tuesday, September 24 at 11 a.m. A statement by the spokesman of the House, Akitunde Rotimi, said the decision to reschedule the resumption was communicated to members through an internal memo by the clerk of the House, Dr. Yahaya Danzaria, based on the directives of the House leadership. The reason for the shift in the date of resumption is unknown, while Rotimi said when the House reconvenes, it will inaugurate the new board of the Public Complaints Commission and the Joint Senate House ad hoc committees on the petroleum industry investigations on September 25. House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review has listed 67 bills for harmonization, which are offshoot of the 112 listed for deliberations by the committee ahead of the submission of the phase draft proposal later this month. This is coming after May 24, 2024, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, disclosed that the committee received a total of 112 bills and 305 memoranda seeking amendments and alternation to the 1999 Constitution. Kalu, who doubles as the chairman of the committee, listed local government autonomy, judiciary, electoral matters, state police, gender, and human rights issues, among others, as areas Nigerians want the Constitution amendment. And at the barely a week to the resumption of the preliminary duties, the committee resolved to review the bills further to identify potential gaps, and they submitted memoranda. Amnesty International has condemned the bill conditions granted to the 10 harsh and bad governance protesters facing treason charges. This is coming after the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Wednesday granted 10 million naira bail on each 2 detained members, saying they must produce sureties who must be property owners in Abuja and must deposit documents of the property to the court. Shortly after the ruling, the director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Issa Sanusi, expressed worry over what he described as a weaponization of such stringent requirements, adding that the 10th and bad governance protesters and other protesters were arbitrarily detained in various prisons across Nigeria for peacefully protesting corruption and deep poverty between 1st to 10 August and must have not been detained in the first place. They also say Amnesty International observes with grave concern the Nigerian Authority went wanton weaponizations of the stringent bill's condition to justify arbitrary detentions and to excessively restrict activists' right to freedom of peaceful assembly, adding that Nigerian authorities must uphold their international human rights obligations by protecting and facilitating the right to peaceful assembly. Beneficiaries of the federal government student loan scheme across the country has lamented the delay in the payment of the August monthly stipends. Some of the students expressed their disappointment in the payment delay, stressing that students can choose to apply for upkeep loan apart from institutional loans, which is paid directly to institutions, while the total of 20,371 students from 6 tertiary institutions were said to have been paid a sum of 20,000 naira each as July stipend. The institution says some beneficiaries from the disbursement are Bayero University, Kano State, Federal University Dusen Marcastina State, University of Ilorin, Kwara State, University of Benin, Edo State, as well as University of Ibadan, Oyo State, and University of Maiduguri, Borno State. A student of the University of Benin said now fund need to do something. Why not? Fund directors of corporate communication Oseyemi Oluwatuyi said the student would likely be paid the 20,000 naira stipends this week. Meanwhile, the National Association of Nigerian Students has called on the federal government to increase the monthly stipends from 20,000 to 40,000 naira. And now to business news. Aviation Workers Work Union have concluded plans to stage a peaceful protest on September 18 following the refusal of the federal government to accede to their call for the reversal of 50% deduction policy from the internal generated revenue of the agencies in the aviation sector. The protest notice was announced through a statement on Thursday, signed by the General Secretary of the National Union of Air Transport Employees, Oheme Abba, and the Deputy General Secretary of the Air Transport Service Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Francis Akinojole, and others. The protest stemmed from the union's clamor for the discontinuation of the deduction from the following agencies, including the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, as well as Nigerian College of Aviation Technology and Nigerian meteorological agencies, and the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureaus. The TSA policy initially introduced with a 25% deduction from revenue generating agencies of the federal government in October 2022, escalating to 40% shortly after, and the union warned that the critical safety activities within the agencies that are already being compromised due to the financial strain imposed by the deductions. They further cautioned that they would not be held responsible if the aviation industry becomes dysfunctional due to the financial constraints. Central Bank of Nigeria has directed all payment service providers to reroute all transactions from POS terminals and merchant and agent location physical or electronic through an approved CBN payments terminal service aggregator. It also issues a 30-day deadline requiring service providers to comply with enhanced routing deadlines for point-of-sales transaction, and the move aims to strengthen the monitoring of the electronic transactions across Nigeria and the decentralization POS transaction routing. Addressing concern about the centralization of such transactions under the single entity, the APIC Bank, in a circular signed by the Oladimeji Yisa Taiwo, on behalf of the CBN's Payment System Management Department on Thursday, said all POS transactions from merchant and agents location must now be routed through any CBN licensed PTSA, and it is required to send POS transaction to only processors clarified by the relevant payment scheme nominated by the acquired and the licensed by the CBN. These developments followed the expiration of the 5 September deadline for POS agents to formally register their businesses with the the Corporate Affairs Commission after it has commenced taking drastic action, including shutting down POS businesses that failed to register. The directive on POS business registration comes against the backdrop of frequent fraud incidents involving POS terminals and the Central Bank of Nigeria's plan to prevent trending in cryptocurrency or visual currencies. And now to international tidbits. President Bola Tinubu met with King Charles at Buckingham Palace in the United Kingdom. Tinubu's media head Bayo Onuaga confirmed this in a statement he posted on his verified X handle on Thursday, adding that they first met in Dubai last November on the side of the COP28 Climate Summit. Similarly, Tinubu's special assistant on social media, Dada Olusegun, confirmed the meeting, stating that the Paris meet was aimed at improving democratic ties between Nigeria and the UK. Ghana's government has approved 45% increase in the producer's price of cocoa for 2024-2025 crop season in a bid to curb smuggling. The policy is also designed to improve the welfare of cocoa farmers as a new season begins, said Agriculture Minister Bayon Achehampong. The new price effective from Wednesday raising the payment for the 64 kilograms bags of cocoa beans to $192, up from $132, which bring the farm gate price to $3,600 per tons, a 129% increase from the opening price of $1,335 per ton for the 2023-2024 season. The price raise followed the mid-season adjustment last year when the government raised price from $1,335 per ton to $2,113 per ton in response to soaring international cocoa price, while New York cocoa futures have recently surged about 70,000 per ton due to poor harvest in Ghana and Ivory Coast. And the world's top producers, farmers in these countries, however, often receive much lower price set by their government, while experts suggest that increasing the farm gate price could lower the incentive for illegal crossing border sales, allowing farmers to reinvest in their cocoa farm, thus potentially easing the global supply shortfalls. And Ghana's cocoa harvest has declined in recent years due to weather challenges, including diseases, inadequate input, and smuggling. UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees says 6 of its employees have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on one of the schools in Rons in central Gaza. Gaza Civil Defense spokesperson Ahmed Bassal said 18 persons were killed in a strike on Al Jonin School in Surerat refugees camp, which is being used by the shelter by thousands of the displaced Palestinians. Israel's military said it carried out a precise strike on terrorist planning attack for the schools and that it has taken measures to avoid harm to civilians. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the attack amounted to dramatic violations of international humanitarian law in a post on X, adding that the attack marked the highest death toll among our staff in a single incident since the start of the war between Israel and Hamas in October. Malaysian police have rescued 402 children and teenagers that they suspect were physically and sexually abused across 20 care homes. Police Inspector General Rashadumi Hosini at the press conference said the victims aged between 1 to 17 have endured various forms of abuse, with some allegedly forced to perform sexual acts on other children, and the police have arrested 171 suspects, including religious teachers and caretakers. The care homes are allegedly linked to the prominent Islamic conglomerate, which have issued a statement denying any wrongdoing. Police raided across 20 welfare homes in the state of Selangor and Negari Sambilian were prompted by reports earlier this month of child exploitation, molestation and sexual abuse at another facility in Negari Sambalian state. Inspector Razadun said the children will be temporarily housed at the police center in capital Kuala Lumpur and will undergo medical checks. Singapore's Grand Terrace area, which has hosted Taylor Swift and Madonna, is getting ready to welcome Pope Francis to celebrate Mass with 50,000 people at the National Stadium on Thursday evening. The 87-year-old has been to Indonesia, Timor-Leste and popular with New Guinea, and the visit to the Pacific Island was the farthest he has traveled to meet devotees. He arrived in Singapore where less than 10% of the population, while around 400,000 people identify as Catholic on Wednesday afternoon. The 3-day visit includes meeting with government officials, religious leaders and students. Meanwhile, security volunteers are working with the police to secure an area around the Pope and guide where he is staying in Singapore. And now to entertainment news. MTV's Videos Movie Music Award was held in New York on Wednesday night. At the event, Taylor Swift won the big prize for Video of the Year, hosted by Megan Thee Stallion. The ceremony was opened by Eminem with the help of Jelly Roll. Popular Nollywood actress Okoyemi Ayola has warned her fans not to make themselves sacrificial lamb for anyone irrespective of the relationship. Okoyemi stated this while reacting to the 1st year anniversary of the singer Mohbad's death on Thursday. In a post on his Instagram story, Okoyemi shared some of the lessons learned from the case. Following a call for justice by Nigerians, his body was exhumed for an autopsy at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital on September 21, 2023. While in June 2024, 9 months later, the pathologist who carried out the autopsy noted that the test could not ascertain the cause of the singer's death. Reacting to the development, Mohbad's family demanded an independent autopsy. And now to sport reports. Yoshi Football Academy Dubai has commenced its Abuja Private School football tournament to create a pathway for talented young football players and encourage grassroots development of the game in Nigeria. Correspondent Rotimi Adewuye reports that the tournament will further feature primary, junior and secondary school categories starting from the 14th of September 2024 in Abuja. Rotimi Adeyuni completes the reports.
The attention given to grassroots sport, particularly football in Nigeria, has drastically reduced over the years. It used to be an avenue to discover talent, engage the young ones, and get them ready for the future. Yoshi Football Academy Dubai is in Nigeria to bring back the whole days of football development, starting from the grassroots with its football tournament for primary, junior, and secondary schools in Abuja. The draws into the group stages of the tournament took place in Abuja with 16 teams spread into 4 groups. In Group A, we have International Community School, Creative Kids Elementary and High School, ICEC El Anor, and Esteem Learning Center. Group B includes Cherryfield College, Santos Lumi Christi School, El Amin International School, and Olumawu School. Speaking to journalists at the draw of the tournament in Abuja, an advocate of sports development at the grassroots, Mr. Marcelo Anyanwu, emphasized that the only way to discover more talent for the future with the aim of having more professionals at the top is to bring back grassroots sport, particularly football, starting from the schools. Ahmed Mukidam, the founder and CEO of Yoshi Academy, said competitions like the Yoshi tournament is the key to development and new discoveries. He said there are plans to host football leagues for schools, which he said will require more collaborations of stakeholders.
The idea is just to revive the school sports, which gave opportunity to some of the players that played in the past, like the likes of Victor Ibeba, the likes of Thompson Oliha. Those days they used to scout them from school sports, especially football, and get them into the national team. But lately, such has not been happening. Even the check-up we used to have those days is no longer happening.
Our target, our plan is to, host more and more tournaments. But not only that, we're even planning to host a league. A league is a bit different from a tournament. A league where continuously these boys on a regular basis, every Saturdays, they get to play competitively. So we're going to collaborate, work together with the right stakeholders, the schools, whatever here in Abuja and across the country, to organize more leagues for more different groups and categories to ensure everyone is included, everyone is given the opportunity to participate and to also develop as much as they desire. Also create platform for us as football coaches and football academy. We understand the gap in a player to become professional, which is the talent development. So what we're going to do, we ensure that these boys are developed, have the right development. Then we as an academy that have a network and connection with clubs and scouts outside the country will provide them with the opportunity to be presented before the scouts, and if they're lucky, they get selected and start a football career at the professional levels.
Speaking to some of the participating coaches, Nkiruka Timothy saw the tournament as an opportunity to engage as students and transform them.
It's a great opportunity, and last year I was part of the coaches in the Yoshi Football Academy. In fact, when I saw the invitation to my school, I quickly told my director that we must attend. And today in the training, the boys are ready. In fact, almost all of them have bought their boots, and everybody is shining, they're expectant. So the spirit is high and the mentality is high also to participate. It's going to be a great performance for them and platform. Yeah, I urge the schools to key into this program. The exposure and the mentality of Yoshi Football Academy is high. Is the modern football techniques.
My school, because of the interest of football that the kids and the passion the kids are having for football, we've been able to discover that one of the areas that they have their talents the more is football. So that's one of the reasons that pushed us into registering our school and making sure that they attend.
The Yoshi Football Tournament will run between the 14th of September to the 28th of September. With me, Adewi, ATN News, Abuja.
Secretary General of the Nigerian Football Federation, Mohammed Sanusi, has taken the Super Eagles technical crew to come out with the winning strategy for the team's next 2025 African Cup of the Nations qualifiers against Libya. The three-time African champion will take on the Mediterranean Knights in the doubles headers next month, while the Super Eagles currently top Group D with 4 points from 2 games. Sanusi said the NFF will continue to give the coaches the necessary support. Former Super Eagles head coach Jose Jacero has expressed delight following his invitation to the African Coaches Symposium in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Jacero is among the panelists selected by the Confederation of the African World Football to attend the 2-day event. The Persegues took to the social media to show his appreciation to CAF, and 50 coaches from the CAF's members associations will be attending the programs. The CAF Coaches Symposiums will focus on the performance of the national team during the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. And that's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us. I am Immaculata Irikana. You can join us on all our media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, Atlantic TV Net. You can also join us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Good morning.